Have you ever opened the fridge, looked at yesterday's leftovers, and thought, I'll just warm this up and eat it again? It feels easy, right? Safe, even. But what if I told you that some of those leftovers, especially as we age, are actually doing more harm than good? Not all reheated foods are created equal. In fact, some can quietly steal your energy, upset your digestion, or even cause inflammation in your joints. Sounds surprising, right? But it's true, and it's something we rarely talk about. As we get older, our bodies change, and so do the ways we digest, absorb, and react to food. Some meals, when reheated, can be incredibly healing, but others, they can actually harm you. Stick with me, because today I'm going to reveal 6 common foods, 3 that get better when reheated the right way, and 3 you should stop reheating altogether. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect your body and avoid the hidden dangers of reheating. Let's dive in. Have you ever opened the fridge, looked at yesterday's leftovers, and thought, I'll just warm this up and eat it again? It's convenient, right? Safe, even. But what if I told you that some of those leftovers could actually be harming your body, especially as we age? It might sound shocking, but not all reheated foods are created equal. Some can quietly steal your energy, upset your digestion, or even cause inflammation in your joints. The effects aren't immediate, but they build up over time. As we get older, our bodies change, and so do the ways we digest, absorb, and react to food. Some meals, when reheated, can be healing, while others can cause more harm than good. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 common foods, 3 that become even better when reheated the right way, and 3 others you should stop reheating altogether starting today. This isn't about rules or fear, it's about giving your body the care it's earned through the years. Let's get started. Let's start with something warm and familiar. Oatmeal. It's a humble breakfast bowl that many of us rely on to start the day. Maybe it reminds you of childhood, or simply has become a comforting habit. Whatever the reason, oatmeal has a special place in our mornings. But here's something most people don't know. When you cook oatmeal, let it cool and then reheat it. It actually gets better. Here's why. When oats cool after being cooked, something interesting happens to their starch. The structure of the starch changes, and it becomes what scientists call resistant starch. Now, don't let the term confuse you. It just means that instead of breaking down quickly in your small intestine like regular carbs, these starches move into your large intestine, where they feed the good bacteria that live in your gut. These friendly bacteria are essential for keeping you regular, easing inflammation, and supporting your immune system, things that are more important as we age. The best part? When you reheat that cooled oatmeal slowly, the resistant starch remains, so you still get all those gut-friendly benefits. And because the starch digests more slowly, it helps give you steady energy without the sugar crash. For those of us in our 60s, 70s, or beyond, when blood sugar levels can be a bit unpredictable, this is huge. Instead of feeling hungry or tired just an hour after breakfast, your energy stays balanced. You feel satisfied, not heavy, not jittery. It's a small change that can make a big difference in your day. Now, let's talk about vegetable soup. There's something deeply comforting about a warm bowl of soup, especially for older adults, often in the late afternoon when you're craving something soothing and easy to digest. But here's what might surprise you. When reheated the right way, vegetable soup becomes even more nutritious and healing. You see, when you cook a soup filled with hearty vegetables like carrots, onions, leafy greens, celery, and sweet potatoes, something magical happens. The longer these vegetables sit in the broth after cooking, the more their cell walls soften and break down. When you reheat that soup, especially slowly over the stove, those nutrients become even more available to your body. That's important because as we age, our bodies don't absorb nutrients as efficiently as they used to. So having those minerals already loosened in the broth means you're giving your digestion a helping hand. Plus, soup is mostly water, which helps keep you hydrated. Something that's crucial if you struggle with low energy, joint stiffness, or constipation. Studies have shown that warm, vegetable-based soups can lower markers of inflammation and improve overall appetite, especially for seniors who may struggle to eat large meals. And if your soup includes natural anti-inflammatory ingredients like garlic, turmeric, ginger, or parsley, you're giving your joints and immune system the kind of support they crave. I remember Ruth, a sweet 73-year-old woman who had lost interest in meals after her husband passed. Big plates of food overwhelmed her. But when I suggested making a pot of vegetable soup once a week, packed with sweet potatoes, kale, garlic, and lentils, she said it changed everything. She felt like she was feeding her soul again, and more importantly, she stopped losing weight, started sleeping better, and felt less stiff in the mornings. Reheating soup also has emotional benefits. It's one of the few foods that doesn't lose its comforting qualities when warmed a second time. In fact, it often tastes better. The flavors deepen, the herbs become more fragrant, and the warmth feels more grounding. Now, let's move on to brown rice, a humble grain that doesn't usually steal the spotlight but is quietly powerful, especially when it's gently reheated. Brown rice is rich in fiber, B vitamins, and minerals like magnesium, which supports nerve function, helps relax muscles, and plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy blood pressure. For many seniors, brown rice becomes even more beneficial after it's cooled and reheated. Like oatmeal, brown rice undergoes a transformation when cooled. The starch inside it changes into something called resistant starch, which acts like a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your gut. This is crucial for digestive health, immune support, and even emotional well-being. When you reheat brown rice gently, the resistant starch remains, and it can actually be more helpful to your body than the first serving. For seniors, this slow-digesting starch helps stabilize blood sugar levels and keeps energy levels consistent without those afternoon slumps. I remember Tom, a 74-year-old who was living alone and often skipped meals because cooking for himself didn't feel worth it. He started making small batches of brown rice, storing them in the fridge, and reheating them with vegetables and lentils. While it may not have seemed exciting at first, he told me it made him feel more steady, like he was grounded. That's the beauty of brown rice. It's not flashy, but it supports your body in all the right ways. Now, let's talk about some foods that aren't so friendly when reheated, starting with mushrooms. At first glance, mushrooms seem like a healthy, low-calorie food that's easy to digest. But here's the problem. Once mushrooms are cooked, cooled, and reheated, they become difficult for older adults to digest. You see, mushrooms are made up of complex proteins and amino acids. The first time you cook them, those proteins break down into forms that are easier to absorb. But when you let mushrooms cool and reheat them, those proteins change again. They become denatured and harder for your aging digestive system to break down. This can lead to bloating, discomfort, or nausea, especially for seniors. And the risk doesn't stop there. Mushrooms are porous and moist, which means they're more likely to harbor bacteria if stored improperly. This bacteria could lead to foodborne illness, especially in seniors with weaker immune systems. So, what should you do instead? Enjoy mushrooms fresh, or eat them cold in salads or sandwiches the next day. Avoid reheating them, especially in the microwave, to prevent digestive discomfort and bacterial growth. Finally, let's talk about eggs, a breakfast classic that's packed with protein, but can become problematic when reheated. When eggs are cooked the first time, their proteins unfold and become easy to digest. But when you let them cool and reheat them, the proteins harden and restructure, making them more difficult to break down. This can cause bloating or sluggishness, especially for older adults. The bigger issue, though, is when eggs are fried in oil or butter. When reheated, the fats in eggs can oxidize, which means they form compounds that your body sees as inflammatory. Over time, this could increase your risk of heart disease, especially for those already dealing with high blood pressure or cholesterol issues. So, what's the solution? Eat eggs fresh, cooked gently, and enjoy them right after cooking. If you have leftovers, it's best to eat them cold or avoid reheating them altogether. If you found this video helpful, Don't forget to hit subscribe to Elderly Healthcare for more tips and insights on living your healthiest life. We'll continue to bring you practical advice on nutrition, wellness, and aging so you can enjoy every stage of life with vitality and confidence.